Kevin Samuels died May 5th, 2022. This video is dedicated to him and all men of the Manosphere. Loss, rage, grief, depression. Sooner or later, they all catch up to a man.
Name me the product that gains value with age and use.
Whatever the cause, it's something a man must come to terms with. But as men, each of us deal with it a little differently. Ace, I'm going out. Can you be good for me? Good boy.
The Ion catapult is designed to use only approved UAC ammunition. 3, 2, 1. Deja vu!
Vomit yourself out now in the name of Jesus. Gotta have this shit, but gotta have this shit, but gotta have this shit, but gotta have this shit.
My dear sweet brother Nooksy! I can see you're busy right now. Come back some other time.
Okay, listen up. I want 10,000 likes or Mr. Potato Head gets it. I'm talking about this potato head. That was weird. Okay, new deal. I'll take that like and we can call it even. These guards work for your wife, don't they?
May the mercies of God be withdrawn from you.
We're so Last call to MHD. Pull-out game must be on point.
Last call. This bird MD8 heading for tower for pickup. Over.
Protect yourself at all times. Dennis, are you there?
At your service, sir.
Give me some of that dating foolishness.
Uploading visuals, sir.
It's still a parody.
Sometimes alliances are made, and when a favor is called in, you may end up doing things that you're not exactly proud of.
We men, ain't we? We men, ain't we? Shit.
Any man worth his salt knows of the icon. It's a sanctuary for men, a place that goes by many names, commonly known as the Hall of Reflection. The path is different for every man, but you can get there through the Manosphere. The challenge is coming back. The hardest working mod in the Manosphere.
Ma'am?
Miss Gale, thank you. Men come here to relax, blow off steam, reflect, refocus, to understand something they heard. Or to retrieve something lost. Some men build things, others think, play games, talk with friends, or isolate themselves. It's typically filled with familiar things, faces, whatever provides man comfort and peace. We rationalize.
And I will tell you this, it's very strange for me at 54 years old to be talking about people in the past tense.
We joke.
The only thing that's gonna make me feel better is stomping a mud hole at somebody. Somebody challenge me, man. I got some aggression I need to get out. Let me get mixed Master Biko one more time. I need to cool down.
To not worry about it. We're told to be strong. To be a man, but sometimes the burden becomes too heavy. Kevin Samuels was never the problem. He was only the symptom that shed light on the true problem in our society. And with his death, it created a spark, a reaction of unexpected events.
So I've just woken up. Well, I've been awake for about half an hour. The time as of recording this is 1 minute past 8 a.m. UK time. And the past half an hour and 45 minutes I've been awake has been Kevin Samuels is dead. I'm like, what the f***? Okay. Are we having a joke? No, apparently he really is dead.
Man was a hypocrite. In my honest opinion, he really was. I didn't find anything about him to be healing. He insulted African-American women on a consistent basis. One of his last statements that he said was that if you're over 38 and you haven't married or something like that, that you're no good and disposable. To me, he was a shock jock. And, you know, I hope this is teaching folks a lesson about the karma that you put out, the negativity that you put out in the world, that when karma comes knocking at your door, she might not be so kind. So, you know, the fact that he killed over real quick and was supposedly with a woman that we don't yet know the nationality, rest in peace.
All right. This is a hard one to do. This is a hard one to do. All right, guys.
This one's going to be a really, really tough one today. But we must get active.
And that was what I can put on the screen. A lot of this stuff I don't even really want to put on the screen. And much of it was, I was trying to figure out whether or not Kevin was officially, you know, he deceased or not. And almost as soon as the rumors came out, the vultures started circling. Bloggers and video YouTubers or whatever were way too happy. And I don't allow a lot of negativity into my life, but I try to stay as rational and as objective as I possibly can. But in doing so, in observing what happened in the wake of his passing, it's kind of hard not to pay attention to that kind of negativity. The fact that women would try to reconcile this man's death, and I love him or hate him, I don't care. But if you're going to use your religion and your God and your morality or whatever your sense of, I don't know, spiritual karmic justice is, if you're going to use that to enable you to reconcile your glee in practicing on a man's corpse, then I got a problem with you. Sorry, not sorry.
This man was...
How can so many black women be hurt by this book, be so enraged over it, and there's no truth in it? You know, if there's no truth, why are you so enraged? If you're not in it, you don't know nobody in it, what's all the excitement? If you write me a book and say, I saw a man with 4 heads walking down the street, you know, hey, that don't apply to nothing I know about. I don't even pick up the book. You know, but now if it's the truth and it's touching you, and maybe it's uncovering you, or maybe it's giving your old man a chance to peep at you, then maybe you want to close that mouth up. You know, seem like to me the ones who's complaining are the most out of control women I have ever seen. And they say they're not out of control.
You see, after I discovered some of those guys, I did a simple search. Are there any black men style YouTube channels? The only person that came up, Kevin Samuels. Seeing him made it a reality. So fast forward about a month or two, I actually get an email from Kevin Samuels. Now I probably had 200 or 300 subscribers. He had about 19,000. I was so excited. And in the email, all he simply said, I see what you're doing. I think you can do great. Let me know if I can help you. Let's see if maybe we can work together. I was floored. This guy didn't know me from a hole in the wall, but he was reaching out to assist me. So of course I immediately emailed him back, shot him my phone number, and Kevin and I talked that evening. We talked several times a day for the next several months. Now I'll be the first to tell you, Kevin is a complicated guy, and it led to us having a complicated relationship. In fact, we had a falling out after several months of becoming fast friends. And you know what we did? We did what good friends do. You argue, you hash it out, and you pick up right where you left off.
I mean, we got some trolls in here talking about Kevin this, Kevin that. Let's talk about my man Kevin before we get to any topics, because some of you guys know I knew Kevin. I didn't know him very well. We hadn't met in person, but we had done some shows together. If you guys have been here for a long time, I'm talking about a long time, going back to like, I would say 2017, where me and Kevin started, where all of it started. O'Shea Duke Jackson, Dinah Samir, Phil from the Advice Show. I used to be over on O'Shea's channel all the time doing the panels. I remember he just had so many ideas. He was just really determined to go forward and push his message.
Man. Yeah, I seeing all the people that were cheering his death. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I'm gonna try to stay calm when I say this. It's despicable. It's disgusting. It's ridiculous.
Don't move.
Who are you?
You'll remember if you think hard enough.
You're me, from 10 years ago.
Have you forgotten the pain? How much we suffered? You just ignore the people on Kevin Samuels. You made me a slave.
I remember everything. And for the record, I put you on a leash. I sheathed my sword.
You put me in chains.
Name me the product that gains value with age and use.
As a man, I can lose everything. My assets, possessions, my money. But if I manage my time, uphold my word, protect my image with integrity, and bring value to my circle, my word becomes priceless. A man, a high-value man. To deny the truth is to lie to oneself, which is why I will never ignore you or bottle up our rage, but we must control it, become formidable.
It's very helpful for people to hear that they should make themselves competent and dangerous and take their proper place in the world.
Competent and dangerous? Why dangerous?
Because it's the alternative to being weak, because it makes you formidable. And life is a very difficult process, and it's not for, you're not prepared for it unless you have the capacity to be dangerous. That doesn't mean that you should be cruel. It doesn't mean any of that. There's a statement in the New Testament, those who have swords and know how to use them but keep them sheathed will inherit the world. That's a way better way of thinking about it. You have to be powerful and formidable and then peaceful, in that order. And that's not the same as being naive and weak and harmless, which is what young men are being encouraged to be.
Which is why you can't lead. But I'll always listen to you regardless of how ugly the truth may be. I know what to say. The human soul. Now, I'm not overly religious, but I believe people aren't given one. They have to earn it. They earn it through struggle, suffering, pain, hard work, courage, and of course, acknowledging the truth. Kevin knew this. He didn't sugarcoat the truth. He was blunt, sometimes rude, but he didn't lie. Women thought he was a sword, but he was actually a shield. To Kevin, to whatever the haters will say, Kevin fought a good fight for men and women. Let's give him what every man craves. Let's give him what every man deserves. Rest and peace.
I don't want this to be a sad live stream. I want to look at this in the appropriate way. We need to celebrate this man's life. He impacted so many people.
People think that he just hated women and he wanted to attack women. But Kevin was the same way with everybody. It wasn't a woman thing or a man thing. As a matter of fact, he spent more time on YouTube, just chronologically speaking, talking exclusively to men only about getting themselves together, getting their style together. Matter of fact, some of you guys may see me adjust myself when I'm on stream. Sometimes Kevin will be watching my show and he'll be in the chat saying, hey, ABL, tighten your shirt up. You can see your undershirt. He would say stuff like that because that's the kind of guy he was. He'd push you to just do better, to go forward. That was Kevin Samuels. That's a guy that I knew. That's a guy that I respected.
And so, you know, I don't want to, I feel like I've let you guys down in a sense because I wanted this to be a little bit more upbeat. It's hard though, because you're dealing with reality. In fact, let Let me hit it one time for the Godfather, Kevin Samuels. Put a damn KS in the chat. But, you know, I'll be honest. I'll tell you what he is. And, you know, he's a king. Kevin Samuels is a king. All of the lives that he touched, all of the lives that he improved, men and women.
And a lot of people have been helped. I know people that got married because of Kevin, stayed married because of Kevin. I know people that have been able to improve themselves, gone through weight loss journeys, all that good stuff.
There have been a lot of kings on this planet of ours, a lot of kings. And I can tell you about, you know, every single one to a man, that none of them stayed here forever.
It's really unfortunate. And to see those that are dancing on his grave is pretty ridiculous. You know, a lot of people, a lot of these women are dancing on Kevin Samuels' grave.
I experienced this within my real life. When I do experience these negative types of behaviors, I remove myself. But it does happen, so much so that there's enough content to upload 2 videos a day on the subject. But it wasn't until his passing that it really illuminated and highlighted the destructive behavior of all of these terrible people that Kevin used to speak about.
So let me get this straight. Rappers can get hundreds of millions of views disrespecting women and telling black men to go out here and each other. And when they die, it's RIP or rest in heaven. Kevin Samuels comes along and tells black men that we can compete too. We just got to be willing to collaborate and do it as a unit, and tells black women to not have children out of wedlock. And people on Twitter are cheering because he passed away. And this is what I'm talking about. We have horrible qualities that we like in our culture. If a man starts getting too well spoken, now he speak white. And these are the same people that are hashtag protect black women. Well, how you gonna protect black women if nobody's willing to accept criticism and we worship the men that are part of the problem in our culture?
In observing what happened in the wake of his passing, it's kind of hard not to pay attention to that kind of negativity.
But you know, the crazy part is, dancing on his grave won't give their children a father.
So, you know, the fact that he killed over real quick and was supposedly with a woman that we don't yet know the nationality.
Who gives a shit what you give, Vivica Fox? You can't keep a man.
Now, this next bit of information is very important for me to share with you guys. Women in general, but black women specifically. I know there's a lot of things that Kevin said or did that might have rubbed a lot of you guys the wrong way. In fact, you might have thought he hated you. You may have thought he disliked black women. In fact, it might have made you hate him. I want to share some personal insight with you that was off camera. Conversations Kevin and I had all the time. You see, I was a guy Kevin would come to for checking. I could rein him in. But you know what he would say to me? Jeff, I know I go too far sometimes, but if I have to go too far and be the guy that they hate to help them get closer to the outcomes they want, I'll take those slings and arrows. He actually loved you women, especially black women. He just wanted the best for you. But sometimes he gave it in medicine that was difficult to swallow. I know that, but just as importantly, he knew that.
When the whole bloody world's gone crazy.
Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels.
To Kevin.
Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels.
Kevin
Samuels.
For all he does. For all of us.
Salute.
To Kevin.
We men, ain't we? We men, ain't we? Shit.
Thank you for being both a sword and a shield. You move the world. And maybe, one day, an average man like us, in time, can move mountains. Until the Manosphere is one. Until all are one.
But let's start this thing off the correct way.
Say my name.
Lead attorney here. Hope you guys are doing well, man. Listen.
Story comes from a former NBA champion, Steven Jackson. And he was doing Instagram Live, and this caught my attention, so I clipped it. I want to show it to you guys.
Welcome back, Play That.
Shout out to the CIA. One love to the FBI.
Salute. It's almost as if like you hear that song and it's so correlated to Kevin, it like takes you back to that space.